Hello, Caroline. How are you? Lovely to have you with us. So welcome to Thursday Night Live. It's very different to be here. It's very nice. Hi, Pauline. How are you? I think we're a bit super close there. Right, got the light shining on my products. Right, hang on. Let me just do all the technical stuff. See, I've managed. Oh, hang on. Look, I managed to put the discount code down there. And let me just press this button here. Look at me managing all the tech stuff. And the collection's up there. Excellent. Now that we've done that, I'm thinking that I fancy making, because we've got, as well as the brand new Bugtastic collection of stamps and things. Hello, Dominique. How are you? We do have a discount code on lots of the other collections, because I actually think these little cuties go with so many of the JMC ones. So I've got a discount on Bumblebuzz collection, the Ladybug collection, and the Fruitopolis. So I thought we could build a little scene using Fruitopolis and these little bugs. So that's sort of my plan. So we're going to be doing a little bit of masking, a little bit of colouring. As I was starting, I'm having a scan around my craft room for my little spray bottle to activate my watercolours. And can I find it? No. So we could be having fun, but let's just have one problem at a time. I'm going to start off because I want the feature of this page to be this little face-planted worm. I think all you guys seem to love him. When I speak to everyone, I'd be interested to know what stamp set's your favourite. Let me have a little look. I don't know how organised or disorganised I am. I'm very disorganised. It's because I've been crafting. But a lot of people have either liked Mushroom Guy. I think that's his Happy Days. So there's been a lot of love for this one. And then a lot of love for this one. Oh no, this one's Happy Days. And this one's Hello Friend. Anyway, this one's What's the Buzz? And this one is missing its main character. It's somewhere on the desk somewhere. This one is Officially Adorable. Okay. Let's get started. Everyone's saying hi to each other in the chat. Excellente. Where my little slug's gone? If I want to use him later, I'll be in trouble. It'll be somewhere on my desk. I have been busy filming. So I've got a video that I'm working on. I'm in the middle of editing it just now, which should be tomorrow's upload at 6 o'clock. And I've got 6 different ideas of how to use these stamps. And we've got 2 journal pages, a prompt book, a card, and something a bit different. That's all I'll say for just now. Yeah, so there's lots of ideas coming. Hence, all my stuff is everywhere because I'm working on a bit of a crazy time frame. I've just got an old bit of scrap paper. This is actually one of the photo release forms that we use at the workshops. Had spare printed, so, you know, rather than waste it, I use it for things like this. Right, I am going to make a little mask of little wormy guy. I'm not sure if he's a worm or a caterpillar. I think he's more a caterpillar. He's a fantasy something. Oh, I can bring you closer now. Hello, we can see him. Hello. Right, let's create a little mask, and then he can be our little feature guy. And then the rest of it we shall work out as we go along. So, I'm just going to mask him up. So we can build our little scene. Just busy, like in my own little world now here. I get into crafting zone and forget that I actually need to talk. Hello, Fiona. How are you? Lovely to have you, Fiona, and I'm glad you've managed to wrestle with technology. I do know the struggle. I do struggle with it myself sometimes. I know sometimes it seems like I have a very fancy smancy setup, and I'm not going to lie, I do. But that is because my husband has idiot-proofed it for me. Like, seriously, I come down here and I just have to press buttons 1, 2, 3, 4. If anything goes wrong, I'm well and truly stuck. So I get the struggle. I do get the struggle. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of masking because I don't feel like I've really built a fun scene so far. I want to create a sort of massive colouring page with all of these images at some point and colour them all in. I might do that another day. Right, I'm working in my journal. And what I'm going to do, because this one's quite chunky, it's almost full, and sometimes it can become a little bit of an uneven stamping surface. So when that happens, we just pull a page out and put the book behind. That's the reverse of one of the journal pages for the video. Right, so I'm putting that, and then that means this page here is now directly on my page and directly on my table. So I'm going to get a nice even surface to stamp. That's what I was trying to say there. Right. So let's stamp this little guy up. I kind of don't want him right at the bottom. I want to be able to build a bit of groundwork in front of him. So I'm going to put him about there, I think. Okay. And then let's get a little bit of spray. Hello, Julie. How are you? Good to see you. I've got different people in the house today. Kind of wondering whether I should do Thursday lives more often. Don't know if I can cope with doing 2 lives a week, but maybe I should consider it now and again. Maybe once a month or something. Right. Let's do this. So we'll mask him off. You can use like, what do you call it? One of these post-it note things. But I find it easier just to use this because then it covers the whole actual surface. Right, I'm now going to pull out Cherry Tree Lane. So this is also on offer. The discount code applies to that. So for those of you on your end, we have the discount code down here, Bug15, which goes on to the new collection, Fruitopolis, Bumblebuzz, and Ladybugs. And we have the link to the Bugtastic collection just up there. Right. What on earth has happened here? Never mind tech. I can't even get into my stamps. What on earth have I done? It's a good start, isn't it? Right. You're trying to resist buying everything, but these are just too cute. Oh, thank you. I know the struggle. For me, it's like art supplies. I've always wanted to buy art supplies. You'd think I'd never need to buy another art supply in my life, and I really don't, but they're just so pretty. Right. Let's get this little cherry tree lane in, and then we'll see where we shall go from there. We'll see what other characters and bits and bobs we could possibly add. I want to try and do it with minimal masking. Right, let's bring that up here. That is quite cute. Okay. And then where's my little scared bumblebee? Look at him. He's just a little bit worried. He's a little bit worried. Life's a little bit worrying for him for some reason. Right. I'm going to do cheat masking here because I can't be bothered. Creating a mask for everything, but you know, we can sort of make it work. It's all good. I'm going to create a little bit of a bush here, like so, just stamped onto my backing thing. It is only paper, but that was just a bit annoying. Probably do the same over this side now. And then we'll do the same this side. Get a scrap of paper, try and protect my desk somewhat. Oh, helps if we put it the right way around. Right. That's cute. And then in the Cherry Tree Lane stamp, we have a deconstructed tree. So we have the sort of little branchy thing there, random triangle, and then we have this that could be a cloud or a tree. So let's pop a couple of trees in. going to just roughly mask this again. I'll put a couple of trees in here, just because we can. Like so. They're maybe a bit close together, but never mind. We'll make it work. Can someone tell you if you are on YouTube or Facebook? You are watching on YouTube, Fiona. And I can see, hi Carol. So this live is live on Facebook and YouTube. I can see everybody's comments. I'm not sure what everyone else can see. And I'm not sure how to find the comments as you're watching live on TV. I know when you're watching on like an iPad or something like that, if you just sort of reduce the box down, you can see the comments. But I'm not sure how you would do that on Telebob. So I'm not sure if that helps at all. If anyone's currently watching on YouTube and could help Fiona, I'm going to have a slurp of tea. Might be a bit cold now, but I'm going to have a slurp of it anyway. Right. Let's do that. Like so. But what I try and do is sort of respond to all the comments so that, we're going to need a mask for this one. Not really going to get away with dodgy masking there. So we'll just actually make a mask. Good evening, Carol. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like them. So for those of you that follow me on the old Instagram, you would have seen a lot of these images like last October when I was doing the Peachtober event. And I have to say, lots of you, when I was doing Peachtober, asked about the bugs and said that you would love to see them as stamps. The last stamp collection we had with the Celestial Divas, that was me. I wanted them. I really love her. But these ones, I had many requests. And I've drawn so many bugs and I didn't even put them all in this collection. So there may be a 2.0 collection at some point. Or part of me fancies doing a colouring book. I don't know if anyone's into colouring books. We'll see. Who knows what the future holds? Ah, that's clever, Dominique. So Dominique is watching on her telly, but is using her tablet to do the commenting. That way you can have it on the big screen and you've still got something available to comment. That is very clever. Okay, I'm going to put another tree just here. Oh, miles away from the actual trunk, but we will finish that. We will fix that in a bit. Hello, Carol. Thank you so much. I think this is one of my favorite things about this collection is it goes so well with so many of the other stuff that we have. And I absolutely do love that. And that's what I'm trying to show in the lives. I'm just going to do a cheeky one here without the stalk. Well, without the trunk. I'm going to pretend the trunk is behind the house. I'm just going to sort of do another one there, like so. If you get any accidental overstamping or not quite there stamping like there, we can fix that when the colour goes in. And then I think I'm just going to have another one right on the edge over here. And I think for the minute, this will do. We might add more detail. I quite like the Hello Friend stamp has some sort of frappery, as I call it. It's got some little sort of leaves and bits and bobs. Oh, the other thing I do want to do is let's take him off now so that we can see what's occurring. Because he now becomes the star of the show once we sort of take him off. I'm not sure about these dead lined bushes, but we'll soften all that as we colour. Oh, I've well stuck this down. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, he's so cute. And then I'm going to just add a couple of these munched leaves, like he's been a naughty caterpillar and munched leaves. So I think I'll have a few just sort of like this. He's had a little nom nom. I think that could be fun. Thank you, Fiona. Oh, you do very well on Instagram. I do appreciate all the comments and the likes. Apparently I can now stream on Instagram as well, but that's a bit of tech. We did try it, but that's a bit of tech I've not quite worked out yet. So I have to, it's a bit more complicated. It doesn't have an automatic tie-in like Facebook. Yeah, there's an extra few steps. And I did try it once, but my husband wasn't about to help me. So that is something for another day. Look, isn't it so cute? See, this is partly why I'd love to do a colouring book. I'd love to build a whole load of scenes, but scenes aren't really kind of, you know, I think in stamping you need to build your own. Anyway, I digress. We should focus on what we're actually doing. Right, now we are going to have a little bit of trouble now because I need to paint. Let me grab my paints. And my little spray bottle of water seems to be absolutely nowhere to be found. I will have a look in my, as I said, it's because I've been working away trying to get a video out. Let me see, let's give us a bit more room. Give us a bit more room. Right. I'm just checking it's not in here. See, this is my sort of working box as I've been working. I don't think it's in here. No. Right, so I'm just going to have to wet it with a brush. It's all good. Right, we will need, I'm just going to throw some water on here, very dirty water. Never mind. We will need some greens. So I'm just going to activate it by throwing some water in. It does the same thing, just not quite as efficiently. Get my greens all wet. And then we'll need some reds wet for the cherries. Just throw water everywhere. It's all good. Check the colour of that water. That's because I was using gesso earlier on. It's all fine though. Right, what else will we need? We'll need some blues for the sky. See, where there's a will, there's a way. I think that's one interesting thing about the lives. You don't see the polished finished product. You see the disaster, the reality of the fact it all goes wrong and we just make it work anyway. Right, I think that'll do. Hello, Deb. Nice to see you. Thank you. I do like the wiggly worm. You're so cute. I kind of want to do a rainbow version of him as well, but like one, I think well, if we do one tonight, we will be doing well. Right, what I'm going to do is take this very filthy water. Look how filthy that is. That's shocking. And just get a load of water on that. Now I have, when I've stamped this, used this Hero Arts ink pad. So this is a hybrid, so I can use watercolors as well as markers and things with it. So you do need to make sure that you're using the right ink pad. So I said this one, Stays On would work, VersaFine Clear would work, but not your Mementos and things like that. Right, I'm going to get a little bit of blue. Activate these just a little bit. I'm just going to put a wash of color. I'm not worried about anything being too precise right now. I'm just going to get a wash of color. I'm probably going to get details in with maybe pastels and pencils. So I'm just sort of blocking out the color just now and then see what occurs from there. Oh, that was much darker than expected. I need to get a spare. Let's get another. Because I'm getting paint on all the following pages. Not that that bothers me too much, because I just think it saves you working from a blank page next time. It's like next time you know you're going with green. Right. Let's get a wash of this down. Very loose. Don't have to be precise. That'll come. Bit more green in here. And you can tell I'm not going for precise. I've got a massive paintbrush and these trees that somehow the trunks don't match, but you know, it's fine. We just need green. There you go. See, now it all makes sense now that we've added. So never worry that the stamping's not gone right. You can fix it. Even if lines don't quite connect or overstamp, you can fix it. We'll get in some big leaves there. I'm going to give that a blast before I start going in with the, actually, maybe let's just put a little bit of yellow on Wormy Guy. He's not going to be yellow, but he's going to be brighter than the grass. And I'm not too worried about his eyes either. We'll bring that back later. I know, that's what I thought. He's had a little munch. He's been a bit naughty. He's been a bit of a naughty caterpillar. Right, let's just waft this. And then we'll get the reds down, and then we'll work out what we are doing. I'll probably put a bit more detail in with more watercolour, and then I'll pull out my pencils. Sorry, I've stopped talking. I'm in the moment. Now my page is completely warping here. I don't tend to worry too much, especially when it's in my journal, because I'll show you a couple of tips in a minute, but once it's part of a closed book and it's sat on its shelf, it sort of naturally straightens itself up anyway. But basically what it is doing is expanding and contracting. So the water made the paper expand, and then the heat's going to make it contract, and we're forcing it to do it rather quickly, so it's just getting a bit warped. But what you can do is, see, like you can see it there, you can see how bent that page is. What you can do in the moment is just apply heat to the back, and it will just loosen it a little bit, make it a bit more as it should be. But I tend to find if you're working in a journal anyway, once the journal's back on the shelf, it sort of straightens itself out. If you are working on a card, and this is a front, because this is the thing, yes, I'm working in a journal, but this could just as easily be a card. It's just a piece of A4 card. So you could work on a bit of card and then matte and layer it and stick it on a card. So it doesn't have to be a journal. But if I was matting it on a card, what I would do is once I'd finished my painting, I would leave the painted piece under a pile of books for a day or something till it's nice and straight, and then I would adhere it to my card. So there are workarounds. Oh, somebody has just ordered the collection, so thank you very much. Do appreciate it. If you are interested, we have got the QR code there and the discount code there. I've got my watch notifying me. Modern technology. It's great, isn't it? Right, I'm just going to put some of this pink down on here. I don't want this to bleed too much. Because we have green, green is made up of yellow and blue. And obviously, if you put red down as well, that is the three primary colours. So if they all run into each other, we would have got brown and mud. And whilst I'm all for colour mixing it and it being very loose, I don't want mud. I do want my cherries to be nice and bright. So that's why I just let it dry first. We will get some browns in there in a little minute. Just sort of getting the base coat of that down. And then let's get a little bit of pink in the little love heart as well. Right. And let's get some yellow. I'm going to get some yellow on these little flowers. I probably could have done those when we were doing the little bug guy, but never mind. There's yellow on these little sakura flowers. My daughter's just bought herself an English to Japanese dictionary today. It's the joys of homeschooling. We can literally like learn whatever we want, but she's so into anime and Japanese culture right now that she found herself a dictionary. So she's got that. So I don't know why. Oh, the sakura. That's apparently they call that dolphining. Their ADHD, you know, one subject leads to another in your head, but no one else is going along the journey with you. So I apologise for that. I was thinking Sakura, Japan, then my daughter's new book. Hello, Lucy. How are you? Oh, Deb's off in her hollybobs. So you're saving your pet. Quite right. And thank you for coming with me and coming along anyway and spending your time with me. I do really appreciate it. Right, I'm going to get some brown in the doorway. Some brown on the leaves. Hello, Arwen. You're not very late. It's okay. We have, and you can catch up on replay if you're really that bothered to see where I got here. But no, you're not late. We don't keep register or anything. Just pop in and out as you please. There we go. So that's the base colour down. Kind of got it blocked out. And as I said, I want to put a little bit more definition in with the watercolours, keep it nice and loose. And then I'm going to come in. Oh, we'll probably throw everything out at the time we finish. Too much. It's just, I can't help myself. Right. Currently, these trees are back to front. The darker one, the one in the back should be darker, not this one. So let's just get some darker colours into the trees behind so that makes a bit more sense. Same with this bush as well. It's like the one in front should be darker, or the one behind should be darker. So let's just do something. There's something sticky on this paintbrush. It's quite weird. Just add a bit more water just to soften that out. So cute. Right, I think I'm going to change up and do a different green down the bottom here. Just one of the things is funny, my family will tell you, anytime I go for a walk or we go out into the countryside or we're driving, I'm always like, look how many greens there are. Just always so fascinated by the multiple shades of green and how different it all looks. And add a bit of yellow into this. Not even going to just going to drop it in. I'm going to try and mix it. It just helps to make it multi-tonal, which I love. I can lift that tree as well, just by adding a bit of yellow into that. Okay, let's go for a nice bright green on the leaves. And I'm painting very loose. My hand is quite far back on the paintbrush. I quite like, it's funny because when I colour with alcohol markers, I'm very precise. And I like, I like to be very on it. I don't know, when it comes to watercolour, my style is so completely different. I think that's what's fun about experimenting and trying different mediums. It's like you might sort of discover a different side to yourself and to your creativity, which is fun. Right. Kind of think those leaves are a bit heavy. I don't particularly like that. So all I'm going to do, if you're not sure with watercolours, just pull it up. And you can actually add water to it to lift it up a bit more. Actually, that's a bit better. It was just a bit too dark as it was before. And I'm not worried about it smudging. As I said, we're going to come in with pencils. We're going to come in with acrylic markers because I'm in the mood for a real mixed media play. So who knows what we'll end up with on this. Right. There we go. And we shall have a bit more down here. You can see how well my Gansey Tambies are used, can't you? Do love my Gansey Tambies. Always makes me laugh when people go, I love my Gansey Tambies, and like their box looks pristine. I mean, mine looks destroyed. Look at it. It's like there's holes in it and all the paint's curling up. It's been sprayed and dried that often. Brilliant. I love it. I do like seeing well-loved supplies. Mine or other people's. It's just nice knowing that that supply is really loved. Got all the tones of green in there now. Fab. I'm going to get some down here. There'll be a little bit of shadow under him. Also, we need to make him look a bit more yellowy in comparison to the grass. What's everyone been up to today? I've been editing. I enjoy making videos. I really do enjoy making videos for everyone. And I work really hard on my videos to try and make them as interesting as possible. And, I do work really, really hard. It takes me forever to edit. And I've been editing tomorrow's video. I've literally been working on it all day, and I'm about halfway through the edit, the first edit. So that's what I've been up to today. What about you lot? I'm going to put a little bit of teal in this as well, just to kind of blend up the colours a little bit, so we've got a bit of difference. And I'm probably going to throw a bit of yellow in as well. As I said, this is very loose at the minute. A bit of yellow in there. I quite like letting the greens mix themselves on a piece. I just kind of feel, as I said, when you look in nature, there's so many greens, and I get so excited by it for some reason. I don't know, more green in it. I wouldn't say green's my favourite colour, but in nature, I get so excited about how many greens there are. And I do think this is a really good way of sort of replicating that, is like not going down with a solid green. Go down with your blues and yellows and let them sort of mix themselves on the project. And I think you get a much more sort of realistic mishmash of colour. Thank you, Carol. I really do put a lot of time into them. I try and keep them sort of, I think there's a different, I think like real time like this, when you're with the person, it's fun. But in a video, it's like, yeah. I try my best. Okay, I'm going to give that a dry, and then we'll do these leaves. I think we're getting there with the sort of first washes anyway. Then we'll come in with pencils. It's amazing how, like, when you first start stamping it, it feels like you've sort of stamped him in the middle of the page, and it all seems a little bit lost. Then you start putting colour down, and it just fills the page immediately. Back to warping the page again. Yes, tomorrow's video is more Bugtastic ideas. Oh, thank you, Carol. You've been round to a friend's house who's decluttering her craft room and gave you 2 boxes of... Oh, excellent. That's the best kind of decluttering to do, isn't it? I've got a friend, Chantel, that keeps doing hauls on her YouTube channel, and it's like stuff she's picked up on Facebook Marketplace, either for free or like hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth for like 20 quid. And I'm always... so I'm constantly scouring Facebook Marketplace to see what I can find. And yeah. But decluttering a friend's room and being able to squirrel stuff away, that sounds perfect. Oh, you've not been well, Lucy. I'm so sorry. Hope you're feeling better soon. Fiona has been making cards today. You've been stamping your honey and lemon stamps ready and coloured. Oh, thank you. Yeah, they do go so well with all the previous sort of cute critter collections. Right. Going to get a bit more detail in these little leaves here. Let's see, I'm going to, just to make them a bit different, I'm going to go in with the blue. My daughter had her art class today as well, because she's now got, because she takes, because she's homeschooled, she has various online classes that she does, as well as her own personal interests. So one of the classes that she takes is art. So they were looking at drawing architecture today. So she was drawing Camden Market. She's done really well with it. My little mini artist. She's very good. See, so if we made them more blue, they still look good because they're still the green tones. But as I said, that is my favourite way of playing with the kind of green tones on a project. Right, I'm going to put another layer of red onto these cherries and then do my best to build up the shadows on this. I have a feeling, because we've got to be fairly precise with this red, although I'll probably end up flicking paint in a minute because I'm weird like that. Although I've got to be reasonably precise. I'm not really precise because, I mean, look, I'm just painting over the window there. It might be slightly harder to build up the tonality with this, but we will see how we go. Maybe just give it another block layer and then see about sort of getting some different colours in there. It's already popping a bit better. Yay! The positive of footballs. Yeah, my daughter's getting sick of it, like, because she does these online classes, and it's like both her history teacher and her math teacher are like big football fans, and like they encourage the boys in the class as well. And I think next Tuesday they're all allowed to wear their football gear to class, and she's like, oh, they're all going on about football. Pick up a lot. There's quite a lot of water on there, so I'm just going to pick that up a little bit and then see if I can get a more interesting blend. Oh, I've done something weird to my screen. Clicked something. Let's see. There we go. I need to unclick it so that I can see your messages. I've gone quiet now. Gone back into colouring mode. Right. I think reds can be tricky to get the depth with. And I think I'm going to have to come in and sort that with pencils, but that's okay. As I said, for this is just my starting point. I love mixed media colouring. I was talking about this to my friend. It's like I started off like just using alcohol markers because I really like a nice smooth blend and all of that sort of stuff. And now it's just, I love just getting as many medium. I'm trying to work out which one of these is brown. Get as many mediums onto my colouring page as possible. It's so different from where I was when, oh, that's purple. So different from where I was when I started. Which one's brown? That's blue. This one brown. Thankfully, all colours make brown if you mix them enough, but here's my little swatch. Brown, brown, brown. I want a brown. Number 47. This one, apparently. There we go. Don't know what I was doing there. I'm making a right mess. Not quite. I don't want it quite that dark. Again, I want to get the tonality in with pencils and things like that. Okay. And I think we'll do a little bit of stock, and then I think we'll move on to, or maybe we'll get a bit of colour onto the little wiggly worm or caterpillar. Not sure what he is. He's a fantasy sort of bug. I think they all are slightly. They all sort of resemble things, but they're not particularly accurate to real life. They're fantasy bugs. There we go. Excellente. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of orange into these. I mean, sakura are pink, but I just kind of want the flowers to pop against the cherries. So I decided to make them a different colour. Okay, And then we'll get a little bit of colour into Wiggly Wormy. It's just, I shouldn't really mix it in the paint like that. That's such a bad idea. Honestly, Julia. Right. That's how I fix it. Just dunk a rag in it. Okay. Bing, 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 bing. Oh my god. I can use the stamping block as a paint palette. That'll work. Right. And it's because I want to create a nice... Oh, just contaminated it again, haven't I? I want to create a slightly more a limey colour than what we've got there. One thing you're doing now since your workshops is using more than one type of colouring medium to colour images. You're very welcome. Yeah, I would say caterpillar. I think so too. I think that's why I sort of gave him the munching leaves as well. Totally covering all his little cute polka dots here, but you know, I'll sort that in a second. Do, do, do. Right, I think after we've done this, we'll give it a blast, then let's pull out pencils. Because I feel like I've reached my skill level with this. Right. Put this to the side. Give it a little blast. Oh, what I did want to do before I put my paint away, sorry, is I was going to do some pink splatters. I know that seems a bit strange, but I think it kind of looks like little soft florals in the background. And normally I would do that and then spray it slightly with water, but as we've established, I've kind of lost my spray, so we'll just do it like this. Just going to add a few sort of pink splatters. I think it adds to it. As I said, I would have liked my spray to soften it, but you know, it is what it is. I might find it at some point and then we can give it a spray because it'll reactivate because it's watercolour, but at the minute, it's not happening. Right. I'm sort of glancing round my room as I'm drying. Thing is, I know it must be here somewhere because I was using it yesterday. Right, I'm gonna fire that back the other side, try and straighten it up a little bit. Now, some of my pencils are in here. But as you will see, many of them are not. There we go, look. And that's because as I'm working on projects for my videos and stuff like that, quite often I'm using the same thing. So instead of like tidying away in between every single make and then pulling it all back out again, I sort of keep a running project box. So many of these pencils are in my running project box. So I'm just going to pull them out now because I need them again. This here, right here, is the colour palette for the video. Everything in here is what I've been using for the video. Sorry, very disorganised of me. It's just been a very busy week. You don't want to drop your pencils. That's what breaks the leads. So I'm trying to avoid that. Right. Getting there. Sorry, but that's probably making a horrific noise, all that rattling. Is that everything? Is that all my pencils? We'll find out. We shall find out. It's so funny. If anyone was to walk in right now, what a mess that looks. Ah, dear, if it's not right, it's not the end. Right, let's get a little bit closer again. I think I'm going to work on the cherry. There are still some more pencils in that box because some of my reds are missing, but never mind. Right. Don't look at the colour order of it. Actually, I put them there. Last time I had my stuff in the wrong. You've never found a rat biscuit cheat in your pencils? No, that I have not. This rat viewer sounds quite the character. I feel like many of his adventures are mentioned in this live. Right, I'm going to give some of these a little sharpen so that we can get the gorgeous details. Oh, look at that. I do like a nice sharp point. Very lovely. Very lovely indeed. Oh, it's going to be a long one. We're already almost an hour in. And I am quite away from finishing this. Right, so I am going to come in with big scary dark blue just to try and get the shadows. And now as I'm doing this, I'm remembering that the Kuretake paints don't particularly like to have pencils put on top of them. So that was a good move using those. That's okay. We'll make it work. Should have gone for some of my other paints, but that's all right. This is why I like a journal. It helps you to experiment and make your mistakes in your journal. Then when you're doing something that is for, you know, a card or to gift someone, you've kind of made all the mistakes and learnt a lot about your product and about your style and about your all sorts. You've learnt it all before you kind of affect it. See, we still managed to get depth in there, so we're all good. That's why you love watching, Julia. You're so relatable. We all search for pencils. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, my glue that never works. And now I do want that pencil that is missing. It's in here somewhere. It's not that one. But I know it's in here somewhere. Or at least I hope it is. It's a pale pink one. There it is. See, I knew it was in there. Look how much more depth that cherry has now we've popped that bit of blue in there. And that's the thing when it comes to it. A lot of people are scared of reds and really struggle to get with reds, and it's being brave enough to pop that kind of really dark blue in there, and that really helps to give you the shadow areas. Right, we're not going to have as much shadow, but this one's more in shadow because this cherry's in front of it and the little caterpillar's in front of it. This bit will have a little bit, but not quite as much, so I don't want to make this quite as dark as the last one. And the other thing I love about mixed media colouring is, like, it takes a long time to kind of really precisely colour with watercolours and get all the detail in and all of this sort of stuff. It takes a long time to work with pencils and fill up all the tooth and all of this sort of stuff. Whereas I find when you mix the medium, it's like all the paper's coloured now. So I don't have to worry too much about my blending with the pencils because the colours are sort of there and done, and the tooth is already coloured in, for want of a better word. So I don't have to worry too much about blending because it's going to look nice and blended anyway. So I tend to find that, like, mixing the mediums as well, it also sort of helps quicken up the process. I say that, but we've been doing this live for almost an hour, so I'm not sure how quick the process is. I'm going to show you another little trick as well in just a second. That is genius, and I can't believe, well, I have been, I think if you're regularly watching live, you'll have seen me do this, but it was one of those aha moments. Right, this needs a bit more dark up here because it's just looking a little bit clanky. Right, so my aha moment was very often when we are blending pencils, we will use a blending solution, or you can use like baby oil, or you can use isopropyl. And isopropyl, that is pretty much the active ingredient in an alcohol marker. It's alcohol with ink in it. So you can blend out your pencils. You can blend out your pencils with your alcohol markers. Isn't that genius? I think I'm going to do a whole video on it at some point. But, you know, it's like, and then you kind of got the right colour tone for it as well. But sometimes if it's looking a bit scratchy and things, you can actually just blend it out using an alcohol marker. Isn't that genius? I mean, it's one of those things that I was like, why have I been colouring all these years and known that isopropyl blends pencils, and I've never sat there and thought, oh, I could be colouring over my pencils with alcohol markers. I always put alcohol markers down and then pencils to get out the detail, but never thought, oh, I could actually blend my pencils with my alcohol markers. Anyway, that's a sort of very tangenty side note. Look how much better the cherries look already. Oh, I do love shades and tones. It's very exciting. This is an interesting question. So for me, I'm probably more passionate about colour than anything else. Like, I'm such a colour magpie. It was funny because when my Auntie Diane was alive, we both loved crafting. And it's like, and this was long time before I sort of started this as a business or anything. We were crafters, and we used to watch craft on QVC because it was back in the day when there wasn't craft channels. And anything that was like a range of pens or colour or paint, she kind of knew that I'd be sitting there really tempted, and she'd be like messaging me going, have you seen the TSV today? Are you tempted? Are you going to get it? And like, because I was such a colour magpie, and I still am. And even though I love colour theory and I get excited about colour theory, and I've got books on colour theory, colour psychology, colour everything, I still want every colour in the collection, even though I have the ability to mix it for myself if I really want. I'm just such a colour magpie, and I get so passionate and excited about colour. But my auntie, for her, it was tools. So anytime they were sort of like, you know, like the crocodiles or like the We Are Memory Keepers, they were fatal for my Auntie Diane. She spent a fortune on those ones. So all the kind of machines, like the die cutting machines, the machines that did this, that, and the other, that was her weakness, and that got her really excited. So I'm interested to know, what is your, like, what gets you the most excited about crafting? Like, is it like colouring products? Is it imagery? Is it dyes? Is it, you know, what gets you like really, really excited? Does that question make sense? It was a very long-winded question. And now she's stopped talking. I was like, oh wow, the room's gone quiet. Right, I'm going to get a little bit of texture into the little doorway and things. Just going to draw some texture on there. This journal's almost finished. And I started it. When did I start it? I started it in November of last year. Papers. Arma gets excited about papers. So like if you see an offer with like loads and loads of papers, that's you. Nice. My Auntie Diane liked papers as well. She was always like, Anna Griffin was her thing, and I used to like the K&Co ones. You're a sucker for a good stamp and stencils. I do like stencils. I've not done stencils in a while, but I do like my stencils. I think I'm just going to put a little bit of pink into this wood as well, because I'm pretty sure it would be reflecting some of it. If it doesn't show up too much, then that's when our acrylic markers come in, Because what's great is like quite often with like watercolor or pencil, you get to the point where the tooth is full and it just will not take any more abuse. But your acrylic markers go over everything. So that's why I do like coming in with them at the end. I like that. That's kind of cute. Right, let's get some of the greys out. And do these steps. Stencils and paints for Carol. What's your favourite paints? Actually, I should ask everyone that. You're a magpie for literally everything. I love it. Carol, for colouring products, if I have a new collection of pens or pencils, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was so good last year and I didn't buy all the new special edition Neo colours because I didn't use the ones I have, but I've sort of rediscovered Neo colours now, and now I'm regretting it. And I've literally been spending all the time that I've not been editing today trying to find the special edition ones, but they don't seem to be available anywhere. Ooh, I like how that blend's occurred. I kind of colour that well, much, in all the gear. No idea. That's why I love your videos, because they help you get ideas on paper. All right, all the gear, no kind. See, that is one of the main things. Like I used to be the same with all the colour stuff, and then I purchased the Kit and Clouder classes. One of the best investments I made, because it really helped me to understand and to be able to use the products I have. But I'm glad you find these useful. I'm hoping next year to kind of take it a bit further and sort of do more, where we can sort of do more kind of teaching and the regular things. So that'd be good. You love it all. You can't choose, Fiona. The one thing you're not keen on is printed decoupage. I remember when decoupage was all the rage. Do you remember the Paper Nation decoupage? The wee characters. I love them. They did a Pride and Prejudice version of those, and I was like, thought it was fabulous. But yeah, I get what you mean. Carol's into watercolors or inks. See, this is what I mean about my alcohol markers, right? So I've not put pencil over that whole leaf, and you can kind of tell that it's a bit janky, the blend. But then I can just grab my alcohol marker and just do this. And actually, I should have got the yellow, slightly paler, and it just blends it. It's amazing. Look at that, so smooth. I love it. Definitely going to be doing a video on this at some point. But you all get a sneak peek of like what an amazing hack that is. It's brilliant. I am going to sharpen my pencils because I feel I need them for more detail. What's your favourite watercolours, Carol? I like my Jane Davenports. I got them years ago, but I was very upset because I was running out of the pink. But then I remembered that I bought like the Holbein luminescent colours in like a Black Friday sale last year, and they're tubes. So I was like, I could just refill it with this opera pink. You're an emotional wreck and love things that make you smile. Oh, if something makes you smile, you simply cannot stop yourself. If something looks sad, you have to have it. Oh. That's so nice. It is amazing, isn't it, Carol? I'm just so excited. I'm also just annoyed with myself that I've been colouring for literally decades and I've only just worked this out. Right, I'm just going to turn this because it's more comfortable. That's the other thing. Turn your work. Don't try and like sort of like break your arm. You're going back to a small Winsor and Newton set. I just bought Kezia, as I said, Kezia is now taking an art class as part of her homeschooled stuff. And one of the first classes they did was like a landscape and they were using watercolors, and she's completely fallen in love with watercolors. I had an old Winsor and Newton set that I don't use that often now, so she already had that in her stash. But I've bought her a little watercolor palette, a little mini one, but like my Woomer one. And she's loving it. We actually did, when we were away on holiday in Port Soy last week, we actually did like sketchbook dates and things. We went to, is it Finder Castle or something like that, just outside, just in Portsoy, and it's where they filmed Ithaca for the new film coming with the Odyssey. And she's obsessed by Greek mythology, so it was amazing. She really enjoyed it, and we went there. And oh, I've just realised I've not put any colour in on the trunks of the trees there. So we clambered around this castle and stuff, and then like literally the view was incredible. And we're just sat at this like point of stuff and just sat painting. It was so nice. Did a couple of like sort of landscape paintings, and then like I love painting on location, but she gets a little bit nervous about it. So what she does, and I think it's a brilliant hack. Like if you want to try it, because there's something about painting on. I mean, look how that moves. Sorry, look at that. It's just like, I mean, that's the other thing, is if it does mess up your marker, you literally just scribble it like that till it's yellow again. You're not going to ruin it. And she does these sort of like almost like Zentangle type things. She sort of like paints lines or circles, and her paintings are so pretty. And we just had such a lovely, peaceful time, just sat there painting together on the shore, and it was, the water was lapping again. Oh, it was just beautiful. I love it. You don't use pencils very often. You must try this. It's brilliant. It's such a good hack. I love it. Right. I need to get the shadow down here as well. So I'm going to come in with my black again. And it's great because I'm not colouring the whole thing to get the definition like I used to. I'm just sort of popping a few shadows in and then popping a little bit of alcohol marker. And again, because it's sort of like the same colour as the undertone of the piece, it just blends it all together. It's so cool. Very happy bunny. And then, as I said, just scribble it off there and it's good as new. Right. That is looking quite good. The top half up here is looking better. Down here it needs work. Right, I do not like this dark line here. I mean, it was handy for the stamp, so we need to get rid of that. And so I am just going to kind of do like little, almost like grassy tufts here in various colours. And just start to give all of this a little bit of texture. Yeah, it's a really good, really, I mean, it's just the tiniest bit of pencil. And the texture it gives and the depth. I mean, you look at the, like there, look at that. So good. Getting depth of colour is one of the first things that will really help to elevate your work. That line is quite harsh, so I'm going to do a little bit with this, but I think I'll probably come in, when I come in and do the doodles at the end, I will probably do some like sort of scribbly doodles as well, just to kind of erase the mess of that a little bit. And then I'm also going to sort of put some of those grass bits actually over the cherry, because the grass would be sort of growing everywhere. I like this. You just literally scribble all over the place. Put some little tufts of, and then I'm just going to randomly all over the front of this and sort of sticking with the darker scribbles where the darker paint is, and then we'll come in and we'll do some lighter ones with the other colours. Just get a little bit of texture in there. Have it come over the little caterpillar bug thing as well. Kind of some black ones just there. Oh, I'm having a lovely time. Literally just scribbling away. It's so much fun. So what I love about stamps as well is like, I like colouring books. Well, I say I like colouring books. I don't ever colour them. I buy them. But what I love about stamps is that you build your own colouring page, which I think is fun. I'll probably come in and do some like acrylic marker dots along here as well, with like pink and things, make it look a bit more florally. At the minute it looks a bit This looks like a stream is running under him. Oh yeah, I do see that. It's like his little bridge. That's because I added a bit of blue there. Especially now that we've got the scribbles. As you can see, I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm literally just scribbling. And coming in with lots of different greens so that it doesn't end up looking sort of, as I said, I do like the multi-tonal look. Stamping is probably your favourite creative activity. Yeah. So how do people kind of create? So when I, well, obviously I've not done this today, and I've not done this for this video because I've not been organised enough. I say that it's because I ended up having 2 holidays back to back, and the stamps didn't arrive as early as they should have arrived, and then it threw everything for me. So that's why I come across as being a little bit disorganised. But what was I saying? In general, normally what I do is I like stamp a whole sheet out of stamps and then sit and colour them all in. And I'll do that while watching telly or something. And then I would end up with like a bit box full of coloured images and things like that. And then I normally start creating with it. Or do you sort of do a project start to finish? But you know me, I do love a bit box. And we're getting there. Definitely have a lot more depth. Now, this little caterpillar guy, he is meant to be the star of the show. And right now he's looking a little bit lost. So we need to fix that. I'm thinking that we maybe go slightly blue to yellow and see what occurs if we do that. I think he will pop once we get some like big pink polka dots on him. But at the minute, let's just see if we can create a little bit of depth with the pencils. Because he's just looking a little bit lost. That's probably blending him in more, to be honest. But we will work our magic. If it's not right, it's not the end. Sometimes if things are looking lost and things like that, just wait until the end when you start to get like the white highlights in and things like that. That can be when it all comes together. I really need, I've been saying this every single live, I really need to go on Amazon and order myself some more white gel pens because they're all failing me right now. So it could be fun when it comes to having to do the highlights. Right, I'm going to come in with a nice bright yellow and like colour that yellow in to meet the, and then let's try and blend it with the alcohol marker. He's still looking a little bit lost on this page, but we will see what we can do. Oops. Some well dodgy blending going on here. Right, get my alcohol marker. You do the same, spend an evening stamping and other colouring and cutting, then making backgrounds, and then I spend some time matching them all up with sentiments of words. Excellent. You can either finish a piece in a week or in a moment. You have 2 illustrations on the go, which is why it's taking you forever to complete. Yeah, I quite often have, like if I'm alcohol colouring, that's kind of easier to sort of finish a project in one go. But like if I'm watercolouring like that, like obviously in the live, I blast it with a heat gun and stuff like that. But if I'm not, then I would sort of like set it aside and let it dry. Whilst that's drying, I'm working on something else. Right. Well, so much for making him pop. I've managed to, and trying to make him blue into yellow, I've actually made him blend in worse. So that was obviously a really good move. Never mind. As I said, bit of pink, and I think we'll have it sorted. Just keep going. Just keep going till it does work. Right. I think we're almost there. These flowers need quite a bit of attention. Let's give him a little pink nose. Oh, cutie pie. Right, I'm going to come in with some pinks on these flowers. There's me saying that I didn't want them to be like too close to the cherries, but I'm not sure that the yellow's working. So we shall do that for just now, and that looks terrible. I think those might be acrylic marker solutions as well, to be honest. Yes, right, I'm going to forget that. We'll make that acrylic marker solution. Also, the sky needs a bit more depth, so let's just work on that for a moment. I'm just going to come in and give this, that's quite a dark blue. Do I have another blue? I'm sure we had a paler blue in this collection. There it is up there. For blending with alcohol marker duo, I tend to go with a tone lighter. So I've been using the yellow. So I've got yellow and green in front of me, and I have been using the yellow. But it would depend on what look you were going for. But in this particular project, I've been going lighter. So I just want a bit more variation in the sky. I'm not going to do loads. I don't even want to do the entire edge line. I just kind of want to, I just feel it's a bit flat in comparison to everything else. You're very welcome, Carol. As you can see here, should have gone a tone lighter, but that's okay. I've got a solution for that as well. So I'm just going to put this in here, just blend that out a little bit. It looks very cartoony now I've done that. It's because I probably would have gone for a lighter blue, but quite frankly, it's just because I am at my desk and I am struggling to see what I actually need. But what we can do is come in, that's a grey, that's not what I want. I want to come in with my colourless blender, so that'll help to fix that. And I could also come in with a bit of white paint, which I might do anyway to sort the clouds. I'm just gonna, that looks all right. And this is why it was good, because when I started this project tonight, I used this ink pad, the Hero Hues, which is a hybrid ink pad. And so it's allowing me to, I've been able to use watercolors, and now I'm using alcohol markers, and my image, my stamped image is not moving. So that is one of the main things when you are kind of playing with different mixed mediums, that you want to make sure that your original image isn't going to move. So you do kind of have to make sure that you've stamped with the right ink pad for the project that you're going to be doing. So that is just one thing you need to kind of keep in mind if you are planning on using some of these hints and tips. That is so pretty, isn't it? I do like it. I love scene building. Does anyone else like scene building? What's your style? Right, finally, We need a little bit of colour in the windows. I'm actually going to go for blue. If it was more of a nighttime scene, I would go for yellow to get a nice pretty glow. But I think for daytime, we'll just go for a really pale blue. A paler. Is that a paler blue? Or should we just go in with the blender? Oh, actually, we could do that. That's kind of like a grey. And then get my blender pen out again. Right, we're getting there. The sky is well dodgy. I don't know what I was doing there. I was trying to do it, but I didn't pick the right colours to blend it out. I've got limited pencils, and I kind of sort of stretched for the wrong alcohol marker. So we will need to fix that. Right, let's get in some acrylic markers, because some of this stuff kind of needs to pop a little bit. So I'm just going to pull out the ones that I've already been using throughout the past couple of days, and then I've got the rest of the packet to the side of me. I think a lot of the colours that I have here, sorry for the rattle. This is all the bit that's edited out when I do the YouTube video. You just have to put up with it when we're live. Sorry. I think we're almost there. We're on the home straight anyway, guys. Right. Ready for a cup of tea after this, man. Right. Let's get his little pink polka dots back. I think that'll help him pop. And then we'll get some of the line work back, and we will add white highlights. And hopefully that, you're not brave enough for scene building, but you'd like to try. Oh, it's definitely worth having a play. Partially why I'm very tempted to do a colouring book, because I could do it where it's actually a colouring book and possibly a digital version. Then the scenes are sort of built for you. I'm not sure if that would be of interest, or whether this is just not the colouring book community here at all. You know what I mean? Right, let's get some, I'm going to get some white over these, and we'll build this up. That looks very stark and awful just now. Don't worry. I'm just sort of knocking back the base a little bit, and then I'm going to put some pinks over it. You know how I said I didn't want to do pink at the start? I've changed my mind. Because there's watercolour under here, it is moving a little bit with the acrylic markers, because obviously it's a wet medium. So you do have to be prepared that there will be a little bit of movement, but that's okay. You can just work with it a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to go down with the paler pink. Okay, it's because I kind of wanted the white at the edges. This one's obviously doing a little shake. You never think of the angle of the light. Neither do I. So my main rule with light, I wouldn't even worry about it. I mean, I love playing with light, but this one I haven't played with light at all. So actually the shadows are all over the place, because if you were to think about it, like if you were to have the light source come from here, this would be illuminated, this would be illuminated, this would be illuminated. So would this. And if it was coming this way, this would be illuminated. So if you look at my picture, that if the light was coming this way, this would be illuminated, which it is. But then if the light was coming this way, this would be illuminated, which it is. So I've already contradicted myself right there. which is why I don't worry about it. The main rule when it comes to light is if something, or I find to make it work, because it's like you can get yourself tied up in knots with it. And if that ruins the enjoyment for you, then don't bother with it. Because you see, I've got light there, which would suggest the light's coming here, but then I've also got light there, which suggests, can you see what I mean? The light would be colouring from here. But the way I've done it is this cherry is behind this caterpillar, so there's a shadow behind it. That cherry is behind this cherry, so there's a shadow there. This tree is behind this bush, so there's a shadow there. And so that tends to be my main rule of thumb. I don't even worry about which direction the light's coming from. And quite often, as we've said, as Fiona said, she does all her colouring beforehand. And in general, I've done colouring separately and then I build it all up by gluing it all together. But when you're colouring, you're not sitting there thinking about, which angle, because all my different images would be done differently. But I put them all together, and the main thing that I focus on is even if I'm building it, I'll come in and shade. And so if you can just remember that whatever's behind something will have shadow. And I've just realised that is why this guy's not popping, because we don't have enough shadow underneath him. So let's sort that out. But if you do that one rule, you don't need to worry about which direction the light's coming from, because actually it still looks okay. You don't look at this and look at the light and go, oh, the lighting's wrong in that. But it actually is. Does that make sense? The closest to scene building you've done was stamping a spider on a skull. So it was still scene building. Right, but it has made me realise, that big long explanation has made me realise it's part of the reason why this little guy doesn't pop. So let's fix that right now and get a good shadow under him. Because he's in front. So anything behind him would have a shadow. Did you find that helpful, Julie? That's good. Hello, Alan. I've not seen you in forever. How are you? Nice to have you with us. So I'm going to do my little trick that we've been doing with the alcohol marker now. I'm just going to get the shadow down first, and then we'll get the texture down again. And I think that'll be part of the reason why he's currently not popping off the page like he should. And I'm going down with quite a lot of dark. That's black there, right there. You've had a lot happen. Still, I'm so sorry, Alan. Oh, that's not easy. Sorry to hear about your dog. Thinking of you. And thank you for joining us, even though you're not feeling great. I really appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Carol. Glad you find it useful. Right, so can you already see this is, we've wrecked the texture right now. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're using the gifts, Alan. Right. I'm sorry about the printouts. Life has been rather hectic for myself as well, and I keep forgetting. Right. So I'm going to smooth that out now with my alcohol marker, and then I'm going to come in and get some more texture. In fact, I might do the texture with the acrylic markers, but see how he's popped off the ground now far more now that we've actually put that shadow in. That's what was wrong with him. So I'm glad we took a little tangent there, because that was really helpful. You can see how well the alcohol marker works to smooth out pencil texture though, can't you? Because we've lost all the texture in there. I am still planning on doing the A to Z as well. Again, it's the trouble is with YouTube. I love it and I hate it. It's trying to, it is trying to make sure that the videos that I put up are liable to get taken by the YouTube algorithm. And it's like I've got a whole sort of strategy involved in that and trying to improve it, to improve growth. And then once you have things for growth more in place, then you can kind of more fill in the passion projects. So I am still planning on doing it. I was planning on doing a video of this in the last week or so, but then I ended up having to change it all because I got behind with stuff and I ended up having to go with so I think the other week I put up a video where I sort of like re-edited a whole load of old lives. That was actually meant to be the A to Z pop-up book that week. But because I was very far behind because I have a holiday and my in-laws are moving up and I'm homeschool, just all the stuff, all the things, very ill. My mum wasn't well, I had norovirus, all those sort of things. I got very behind and sort of didn't do it, but I am planning on doing it. Right, we have destroyed all texture here, so we will come in and fix that in a little bit, because I think now the tooth, because we did that, the tooth is really full and it's not taking any more pencils, so we will sort that in just a moment with acrylic markers, because thankfully acrylic markers go over everything. So I'm just going to redo these little dots. Just kind of pop them a little bit. Right. Now we'll get back to these flowers. Tell you this pink's a bit, doesn't want to work, it's a bit dry, this one. This is the Ahuhu ones. I normally use my Shuttle Art ones. Don't know why. I think the Ahuhu are slightly brighter colours, so I've been reaching for them this week, but definitely prefer my Shuttle Art ones. Never seem to have any bother with the Shuttle Art ones, that's for sure. Right. Yeah, this is dry and sticky. So I do have a video on my YouTube channel somewhere about reviving acrylic markers, where you can give them a little wash. I've not tried it with the Ahuhu yet. I did it with the Artex ones, but I might have to try it with this, because that is definitely, feels like the nib has gone sticky. So you see this, it's like nice and juicy and flowy, and it's not the case with that other marker. So I definitely prefer the Sakura and the actual Sakura colours, strangely enough. Right, I'm going to get a little bit more detail in the grass. Thank you. When are me and Dawn doing a collab collection together? I have no idea. It's not something we've really discussed. Don't think I'm coming down to Devon. I will be coming further south. It's not quite as south as Devon, but I can't quite see yet. But we will be announcing another workshop soon, which is kind of the opposite end of the country to Inverness. So that will be coming very, very soon. But I can't quite share the details of that. Right. Let's grab a lilo, and I want some dark greens, because I want to sort the texture of this grass out, and then we will get some of the line work back in. Like so. I'm going to need to put some of the paler stuff anywhere near the Midlands. Not really, no, sorry. It's like literally the other side of the country to Inverness, like well down south. Eventually, give us a chance. We will eventually get to doing more. At the minute, so I've got a few more planned with like Louise and Janice, but it's easier for us to organise them sort of near where one of us lives. But we will start getting there. Right, I'm also going to do this. See, we've managed to... No, these are the Nahuku ones. So I was gifted these in January from Uhuhu. They're the Uhuhu Nahuku. And they are very good. If I was buying acrylic markers, I would either buy Shuttle Art or these ones. To be honest, that is the only one pen so far that has become a bit sticky. I think I possibly can revive it. As I say, I have done a video on reviving acrylic markers, so I hopefully will be able to fix it. But yeah, so it's just that because I more often end up using my Shuttle Art ones, tend to reach for those. But as I said, these have been on my desk this week just purely because they've got I love the Shuttle Art colours, and they've got a huge variety, but they are slightly more muted. And the projects that I was doing this week for my makes and stuff, I just wanted them slightly brighter. Okay, so I've managed to hide that line that I didn't really like, so that's good. You have to ask your work. I need to cover a store somewhere halfway, lol. I've been working at Tappy again now and just becoming store manager. Oh, very nice. I must ask to cover the store near you. Excellent. Well, there will be another workshop in Inverness happening in November. But that's a bit hush-hush at the minute. But, well, it's not hush-hush. It's happening and some people know about it. But details about that won't be coming till later in the year. But, yeah. Thank you, Fiona. It's getting there, isn't it? We're getting there. Right. What do I want to do? I want to create some little... Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Focus, Julia, focus. I need to get the trunks of these trees. At the minute, we've got these two random triangles that are just sitting there doing nothing. So let's just actually make them look like trees a little bit. They were stamped in there, but we've sort of just ignored them a little bit. I've given them extra branches because why not? Right, I need to get a slightly paler brown in there, blend them together. Woohoo, Inverness. Yes, Fiona. Should become a couple of months. You guys, the people that have been to the previous ones get first dibs. So they should be hearing soon. But hopefully by August, we'll be starting to give you more details of what's occurring in Inverness. But as I said, there's definitely one booked for a November-ish time. And I have another one booked for September at the opposite end of the country. But again, details will be coming later. Right, we do need a bit more definition on this one over here. Get a bit of highlight in there. And a little bit of depth around here. So, right. I think we are getting there. I just want to add some. It's still, don't worry, we're not done yet. We still need, I want to just sort of dot some pinks and things and yellows. I just think it makes it look a bit more like there's some florals going on in that grass. And then the other thing I want to do is come in with a black pen and redefine his eyeballs or pupils, because they can sometimes end up looking a little bit pale when they've been stamped, and then by the time you've got all the other colour on, but it just helps them to pop again. And then I'm going to come in with a black pen and let's get some of the line work that we've lost back in, and then we will do the highlights, and then that'll be us. Oh my goodness, we've been going for an hour and a half. Thank you so much, guys. I didn't expect it to take quite so long, but then I have built a whole scene, so really I should manage my expectations somewhat, shouldn't I? Right. Let's get some of this line work, but especially like near the house. Some of that's a bit messy. So I'm just going to come in and fix some of these lines. Something was obviously wet there because I just felt it smudge. There you go. We'll fix that in a minute. I could just feel my hand go like sticky there. There we go. And I know I shouldn't harp on about this, but this brand new collection, where we've got the QR code there and the discount code there, it's all hand drawn by me. There's no AI involved, and I feel really passionately about that. It's like, I have to say, the craft world has become very full of AI work, which I just find really, really sad. I know everyone's got the right to make their own decisions, and AI is part of life now, and I get that. I mean, like, we all use it, we can't help it. Like, you Google something and AI is involved. But generative AI, where you create images, it is like so bad for the environment, and it's ethically not great. It's morally not great. And so I'm very, very proud of the fact that all of these are hand-drawn, literally no AI involved at all. And unfortunately, that is becoming fewer and far between in the craft world. So I'm very proud of that. Very proud that there's been a real human artist. Oh, I do. It's like the whole thing with water, and like one image, to generate one image uses an entire glass of water. So when you think of these, like, you know, like these cut and collage books, and how much water that's taken away from villages just to create it, yeah, it's quite hard as well. I have to say, it's quite hard kind of keeping going, because everyone can create faster than you can as a human, and yeah, you feel it. And I know I probably shouldn't go on about it, and it's probably polarizing, but anyway, I don't care. I'm glad that my stuff is hand drawn. It's perfectly imperfect. So no AI here, you'll be glad to know. Right. We are, oops, perfectly imperfect, just sort of giving him a wee extra eyebrow there that wasn't there in the first place. And just add a few little extra scribbles. If that ever happens, what I do is just add a few extra scribbles nearby. It makes it look deliberate. It makes it look like really sketchy. You should bang on about it, Carol. You don't apologise. Yeah, do you know what? I'm constantly, I keep thinking about putting it on my packaging. But it is literally everywhere. The craft world, unfortunately, is full of it. Right. Do a few extra sort of squiggles with black. So long, the thing is, it is able to change it and look drawn. It's AI is very clever now. Very, very clever. And it's been trained on artists that have spent years perfecting their skills. So that's the moral issue. And it's the ecological damage it's doing as well. But yeah, all you need to do is put a prompt in. You can actually kind of put, I've actually seen it in craft groups, where the designer people have bought the stamps off the designer, then put it into generative AI and asked it to do something and created something new, and then posted it in the group. Like, so yeah, you're pretty much then gifting the world of AI hand-drawn images by someone. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could pop it in and say, draw me something like JMC Designs would, and it would be able to do it. Very sad. Thank you very much, Carol. It is hard. I have to say it's hard. There are times when I would never use AI. ever. I've never used generative AI, but like when you're getting lost in a crowd of it and you can't keep up because you refuse, so you can't sort of do you know what I mean? You just can't produce at a rate that these other people can, and so you sort of fall behind a little bit, and so that's hard to kind of stay motivated to kind of keep going. But I will fight for the rights of the artists. Right, I'm going to white out his eyes again, and then I would much prefer to have a finer. Sorry, that was a random rant that I wasn't intending to do. Oh dear. That started off as a simple sentence of, just to let you know, these are hand drawn by a human. And it turned into a kind of, but I am proud of the fact they're hand drawn. Okay, I am just now adding a few little pops of white. I really need to go when I go in, except I've got my video to edit. Otherwise, there's no video for you all to watch tomorrow. So tomorrow at 6 o'clock, if I manage to get it on time, there should be a video. And I've got 6 ideas of how to use this collection. And as I said, we have got 2 journal pages. And as I said, any journal page could be a card. So this could be done on a separate piece of paper and then mounted on a card. So if you're kind of like watching me and going, but I don't do journaling, doesn't matter. Like, use the ideas and make a card. It's not a problem. So we've got 2 journal pages. We've got a card, and we have, what else have I done? A prompt book. And I also did another really cool thing, which I will not tell you. I'll let you discover that yourself. But I was like quite impressed with myself, if I do say so myself. Sometimes like an idea just comes together. Isn't it amazing how, like, we're almost finished and it was looking good, and then just a few little dots and dashes of white and it's like pop. It is very frustrating for many artists. I know that lots of artists really struggle with it. I love the fact you can tell your drawings and you have your own unique style. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Carol. You need to create your own reels of tools or even a journal to buy. I have been contemplating. They would be fairly pricey, I'm not going to lie. But I love making handmade journals. I'll show you a couple in a minute. I love making handmade journals. And actually, I'm going to be doing another online event soon where I'm looking at making journals. That'll be another one that you can, join for free. Same people, hobby school. That was so much fun, and I get to do it again soon. And I'll be making a journal in that one. But I have to say that I love making journals, but I make them faster than I can use them up. And I have been contemplating like making some and putting them on the website. Handmade journals on the website, but I'm not sure if there's something anyone would buy. So I have been contemplating that. And I've got some like Harris tweed wool, and I fancy seeing if I can go down to the local Harris tweed place and see if I can get some scraps, because that would be really cool. You could have like Scottish Harris tweed. I don't like the white doorknob. We'll sort that in a minute. Oh, thank you. My white pen fascinates. Yeah, so the trouble is with tools and things is it's the amount you have to buy. And I'm a very small company, very, very small company. Smaller than many, especially now I've kind of stepped away from TV and stuff like that. So I don't think I have the buying power to be able to do tools right at this point in time. There we go. It's so good. You got okay. Let me show you a couple of my journals. Right, I'll just show you. Give me 2 seconds. See. Oh, something almost fell down. I've made these 3 journals in the last year, and I love making them. They're so cool. Just gonna let the white dots dry on that, and then I'll do a jiggly border. So I made, you've probably seen some of these. This was the first one I made. This was like out of old diary planners and things like that, and scraps. So this is kind of like all, Very mixed. I probably wouldn't make it that mixed if I was going to sell it. I'd probably make it more like this one. So this one I made because I do like the Ranger journals that have the different mediums in them and things. Oh, thank you. Somebody else has ordered the I get a wee notification on my watch. Somebody else has ordered the set, so thank you so much. The code is there and the discount is there. So this is one I made, and this one has got like my favorite papers in it. So I've got watercolor. I'll show you some of the. Is that the back? So it's like that. I did that sketchbook club, but so this has got my mixed media paper. It's got the handmade watercolor paper that I love using. I've got pastel papers in there because I enjoy using pastels, and I have like marker paper in there as well. So I've got that one. But I just find making them so relaxing. And I've got this one that is my most recent one. And this has been made entirely from scraps. So I like taking all scraps of papers and bits and pieces and sewn them all together and made a journal from it. Yeah, I keep them once I filmed them. But it's just like I've already made 3 this year and I love using them, but there's no way I'm going to fill them all. So that's why I'm contemplating possibly making them and having them as an item to sell on my website. Right, this is almost done. I am going to, I need a bit more white on the windows. Yeah, I've got quite a few filled journals now. They just sit on my shelf and I refer to them. Right, I think we just need to add a doodly border and then we're done for tonight. My goodness, we have been 2 hours, guys, almost. Thank you so much for staying with me that long. I feel very privileged. I'm just going to do a little doodly border and then I think we will call it a day. Oh, thank you, Fiona. As I say, I will be doing a kind of more slowed down class on them soon as part of a hobby school event coming up soon. Well, I say soon, in a couple of months, but for me it's soon because I have to actually film it and get the class sent to them. So I'm looking forward to that because like for you, again, for YouTube, you kind of have to keep it pacey for people to kind of stay on and watch and to kind of work with the algorithm a little bit. So it'd be nice to kind of be able to do a more slowed down step-by-step version of it. There we go. That is, hang on. Will you send a confirmation email for your order after the live? It should have automatically sent to you, Dominique. The system is like, the thing is set up for it to, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm trying to do this so that I'm, yeah, it's, I can see that you've ordered. It is there, so it will definitely be getting posted out to you. There should have been an automatic confirmation that was sent to you, so if it's not there, check your junk mail or something like that, because it should be there. Okay, so there we go. That's it all finished. Thank you very much. I could always put it on the website as a pre-order and make, oh, that's a good idea, Deb. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Fiona. You got your confirmation straight away, Caroline. Yeah, so Dominique, your order's definitely there. It'll be getting posted out tomorrow because I think all today's orders will be going out tomorrow. So you've got it, and if you've not got your confirmation, I would check your junk email because the website is set out to do that automatically. Okay, take care, everyone. I will see you later. I am off to grab a cup of tea and then go and edit so you have another video for tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye.